остановки, старые остановки, архитектура. Вы не знаете, где находится эта красивая остановки?
Да, вот
Да.
Черноливка. А вам надо Черпеливка.
I wish I spoke better Russian, could understand exactly what they said. На светофор и потом?
И прямо, и опять вот светофор, снова прямо.
Прямо?
Видите, навод слева.
After the light.
Да. Буде перехресток и туда прямо.
Everything was controlled? Or was this all part of Soviet state propaganda? Who made these?
In Soviet cities, housing construction has priority.
Whereas the collection of bus stops is full of unstandardized designs. In an era where everything was...
tekime selle bussioote paviljoni minule.
Я делает проект фотограф остановки.
Питають, чого, бо я бібліотекар, де я думаю, чим вас зацікавило.
Это красиво, я думаю.
Це у нас директор спиртзаводу колись тут був, то він зробив таку зупиночку.
Ага.
Це директор спиртзаводу.
Окей. Да.
Nicknamed the Russian woodpecker, is close to what I imagined. Besides missile detection, it also transmitted a sharp staccato sound, disrupting radio communications with the West, leaving people to wonder what was on the other side.
Встают над берегом, здесь дома растут стремительно, и на что вы ни посмотрите, это сделали строители. И посмотрите, это сделали строители.
I suspect some of these concrete slabs, you can see that they have like little hooks on them. I think they're sort of prefab concrete that probably has a different purpose. With sort of, you can climb inside its wings for protection. So I mean, I think this is one of the more sort of outlandish designs, which I really quite like. I think it's, yeah, a lot of fun.
Just like very primitively, very basically, they would put cement and then make it straight. So
and this was in the late 60s?
This was late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
Да. No, я интересуюсь архитектурой, да. Ну это...
Это вот только на картинке, а так она некрасивая. Она некрасивая.
Okay.
always thought it was a rooster or a chicken or something, but it's
Well, they called it elephant. There is a sketch.
There's also close to this, there's one that's a fish.
There is a fish,
Or a
there is
whale
a
or
cat, there is a saddle, there is... This one is this blue octopus, yeah.
That's how it started.
That's how it started.
Oh my god. Oh, that's so groovy. And so a car crashed into this,
Yeah,
and then they took it down.
unfortunately.
The concrete octopus was one of my favorites. The older a bus stop gets, the worse it looks, and some people think they're an embarrassment.
There is a food stall or a small shop.
When I'm photographing them, I often have to try to convince people that I'm not trying to make their community look bad, but rather the opposite, that the bus stop is something special, that I want to make look good.
Здравствуйте. Да. Я фотограф из Канады.
Здесь галерея нету, брат. Здесь Рино.
Это Рино.
Рино это.
Да,
Здесь
да.
галерея нету, брат.
Галерея нету.
Галерея дальше.
Ну, вот
Здесь
это...
надо ударить граната. Галерея здесь нету.
Я делаю проект книги, это все старые остановки советские.
They were never published, you know.
Сейчас тоже я молодой. Так считаю, потому что искусство – это ты никогда не стареешь, если ты каждый день работаешь. Но это как и гиганты, архитекторы из госпроекта. Они меня пригласили, и я с ними работал, как раз окончил академию. Это огромную школу я получил. Почему я сделал? Потому что рука художника должна быть... Надо еще. Сейчас, знаете, отойти от таких форм нельзя. Рука художника, начиная от туалетных дверей, кончая большая архитектурные вещи, должна быть рука художника.
Something's wrong with the sound. It's got, okay.
Слышишь меня? Хорошо? Привет, Виктория. Как у вас?
Как дела?
Как дела?
Хорошо. Тоже.
И у меня, значит, по внутреннему тяготению, значит, как-то, значит, стало в сторону тяготения, в сторону эстетики вот, обстановки. Вот. Почему? Потому что это живой организм, куда собирается масса людей, общаются, потом...
It is something to think about. Does all art created under an oppressive regime represent that regime? Because for me, the bus stops are more individual creativity, being expressed in spite of state control. They stand at the side of the road kind of like small, defiant acts of poetry. Still, for millions, the Soviet Union was a brutal occupation. And for some, these bus stops are a painful reminder of that era. So I also do understand if some want them removed or to reclaim them.
You can see where there's like, up in here, this was obviously like a flower. God knows what else was going on, but...
I mean, you can see on the outside of the bus stop, they haven't painted over it, so you can actually see how colorful and vibrant the mosaics were on the inside.
One and a half years ago was a special decommunization law, and this law says that all Soviet period symbols will be demolished in a public space.
Yeah, and they seem to do it even if it isn't blatantly Soviet, like there was no hammer and sickles.
Yes, just about this from Soviet period, because this decommunization law created a trend that Soviet period is an absolutely total black period in our history. Mosaics is disappeared everywhere, and we tried to gather in just a photo more quickly.